Honestly, like, as I'm about to talk about this part, my stomach literally just dropped. So we got to the checkout, and the craziest thing used to happen over there. I don't know what it was or how their iPhones were set up, but their iPhones would like alert, or they would go off. Like there would be a beeping noise right before an earthquake would happen. You feel it, and then you think, all right, this is the time, okay, it's supposed to come and like stop now. And instead of it stopping, it just like it kept going.
So I'll take you back to the day that it happened. We were selling out to sea. We were supposed to be going for a couple of weeks to test out some missiles. I would say about a week into it, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning hearing general quarters. So basically, when that is sound, you hear the horn and you hear the captain over the intercom, and this goes throughout the whole ship, so everybody could hear it. And the captain, his voice was kind of shaky.
The last 11 years I've been riding on a paramedic team ambulance, and I am the EMT part of that paramedic team. I do 24-hour shifts, so about 7, 8 o'clock at night we run a traffic collision with our partners of fire department and police department. Actually, where I was working, it was the sheriff's department, and about 1 o'clock in the morning we got the most horrific call we'd ever had in our life. And that, in our industry, is to have to run on one of your own.
The hardest part was that it was shaking so much that like people couldn't stand up, so they would run and fall down, and then like they were running and falling down, and like people were running over top of them, and just people were screaming, and it was just all pure chaos. It was in Japanese, these sirens, the iPhones.
Everybody was up there. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We're wondering what the hell is going on. And the captain finally, 20, 30 minutes later, after everybody gets there, he basically tells us that CT-1 Anderson has just suicided herself. We didn't believe it. We just thought that this was some type of joke.
We obviously haul ass, and it's in the middle of the night, so we can haul ass pretty good. And we get on the scene, and it's overwhelming. We're yelling and screaming, and I remember screaming at my partner, "Is that him laying on the ground? Is that him laying on the ground?" And he was reaffirming that, yeah. You see people, and you don't think that, God, this could be the last time I see him. I never thought that. His handcuffs that he wore on his belt are 20, 30, 40 feet from him. What the hell happened?
I just remember we just started hugging each other, and all I can remember at that time is like holding Deanna, and I just remember her like screaming in my ear. It sounds so cliche, but I just started like in my head, like I just started like seeing my family.
After the general quarters went on, I went straight to his rack. He wasn't there. I was in shock because 3 hours before, which was probably 12 o'clock, we were just getting ready to go to sleep, and he was showing me one of his coolest, newest tattoos on his body, and he told me all about it. And 3 hours later, you know, he's gone. I can't tell you how I felt at that time, but it was something that, you know, you can't really explain how you felt.
So it's been about 6 years.
6.5-ish years.
2.5, 3 years ago, that call happened, and you know, it wasn't until about a year later that I realized that did have an effect on me. That's when I realized that there's something I have to deal with, and I sought to do and seek out professional help on my own. I had called our 800 number. We had sat down and had a debriefing and things like that, which is common with what we do. But I thought I needed a little bit more, and it was a year later before any of that manifested itself.
Honestly, for a pretty long time, I just did not want help from anybody. I would say almost depressed, but I didn't know why, because I was super safe and everything was okay and I was back in the States and I was home. And then I remember that we got an email from one of the girls that was on the team with us. I totally remember reading this email and then thinking, I don't need to talk to someone. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I think the more I talked about it, the more it would bring up these feelings that I really honestly was just trying to suppress.
It's funny when people talk about PTSD, they always think military, and it always comes up as military, like, okay, somebody went across wars. And of course you see it on TV too. The American Sniper, that's one movie that I think of, and he had PTSD, you know, and everybody associates PTSD with military, but it's crazy because now that I think about it, my mother, she has PTSD, and I never thought about it. She always tells me at a young age, her older sisters, my aunts, would put my mother in like a closet, you know, and hold her in there. And so she was traumatized by that, you know, and I never thought about it like that, but it's not military, you know, it's not a military type thing. Like, okay, just because you're in the military, you have to have PTSD. There's plenty of civilians out there, including my mother and including plenty of other people out there that have different PTSD experiences that it just ranges, you know, it's not specifically just for military.
Hey, there we go. We got something to eat. Cooking is a great therapy because what are you doing? You're cooking for people. You're cooking for others. You can pour out. And again, what I do is serving others. Everybody has a different outlet. There's art therapy, there's cooking, there's just going and being at the beach maybe, or camping. And if you choose to see a professional, it's okay. Whatever you need to do to heal the inner person and deal with that emotion.
Honestly, working out and getting my body moving helps me to get all of the thoughts that's, you know, in my head out of it. The gym helps me relax, soothes my mind, massages the muscles that I need in my mind, and also it's a therapy for me.
I have always had kind of a walk with my faith, but then after everything happened with Japan, I think I would say like that relationship became alive for me. It has like gained me knowledge and being able to come alongside other people that are maybe going through traumatic things, that don't know how to talk about things that they're going through. Now when I'm able to go on mission trips, it kind of has given me this really cool perspective, coming alongside someone and just sharing the brokenness that I have with the brokenness that they have, and just allowing a space for them to share and to talk. And I don't know, for me that just brings joy. It gives like purpose, I think. It gives meaning. It kind of lets people become free. It frees people.